I'm making a prediction about who's gonna win this year. I'm shooting this before the actual Oscars. I can prove it. See, my phone says March 8th. I realize I can fake this, but I'm not. Just trust me. Here's my choices. We'll review at the end of the video.
So bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
The Oscar is an award given for artistic and technical merit for the film industry, decided by about 9,500 voting members of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. But why should plebs like us care? Because many of us don't, if you look at the ratings. Except last year the ratings went up a little bit, and this year the ratings went slightly up a little bit more to 19.5. But ratings only mean people aren't interested in watching the whole show. Lots of people watch clips afterwards or read about the winners and losers, but regardless of the possible declining interest, millions of people still care. Why do they care? More importantly, why do I care? Because a part of me still actually cares, even though I know all the stupid things about it. And it's not like I watch the entire ceremony every year. I did this year for this video. Here, I'll show you the future.
Sorry about all the lasers around. It's the future.
Anyway, first on the agenda, reasons the Oscars are horrible garbage. 1. They're self-congratulatory garbage. An opportunity to recognize and potentially give a huge career boost to already recognizable and successful people. A chance for a bunch of richies to get together and say, aren't we great? When you look at it that way, it's kind of easy to dislike. And you're not wrong, but yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man. Big Lebowski didn't get nominated for an Oscar. Bullshit! But to be fair, this is basically internal industry awards. Lots of industries have internal awards. It's useful to point out a job well done for an industry. It just so happens that this industry is made up of famous people. It makes a lot of sense to make it a big public show, even though everyone seems to hate it. It doesn't make a lot of sense for other industries, like Big Oil. Are they going to do the Smoggies? Or maybe Big Pharma? The Druggies! It's not, you know what I'm saying. 2. Creating objective winners for a subjective contest is garbage. This is a recipe for angry people. Declaring the best anything is gonna make people angry. True, the Oscars sometimes seem uniquely bad at this, but how can they be good at it? Anytime I bring up a movie opinion with a group of people, there is someone who disagrees. Sometimes we fist fight. Sometimes I murder. Allegedly. Here's one that'll make a lot of you angry. I like The Last Jedi. Now I'm going to list some things that I think the Oscars did wrong, and many of you are going to be angry at me in the comments. Let's do this. Crash Best Picture over Brokeback Mountain? Bleh! Gladiator? Not a bad movie, but over Traffic? I'm a big Soderbergh head, so... Bleh! The King's Speech? Also not bad, but over nearly every other movie it was up against. Shakespeare in Love? It was fine, but over Life is Beautiful? Saving Private Ryan? Maybe Elizabeth, I don't know, I didn't see it. But I understand it not going to the thin red line. Terrence Malick's not for everybody. But I've often wondered, how many Terrence Malicks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? A 1, a 2, a 3. But probably my hottest take that will make many of you angry, Asteroid City? I get why it wasn't nominated. But did you see Wes Anderson's short, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar? Holy crap, that was great, and I'm so glad that it actually won the Oscar for Best Short Film. But here's the thing. I enjoy these fights, which is partly why I still like the Oscars. But we're still talking about bad stuff. 3. The ceremony is often a shirt show. Okay, I have some news. I am not the first person to make a video about the Oscars. While researching for this video, to my horror, a bunch of other YouTubers have done a great job talking about the Oscars. YouTube is getting populated by thoughtful videos about every topic, and it's terrible. It's very demotivating to see other people being so great at stuff, but then I have to remind myself that nothing is ever original by watching my 2 identical videos about how nothing is original. And then I just do my take on something while paying homage to their takes. Homage? First of all, the Oscars are long. The Oscars themselves often remind you of this, and I don't like the joke anymore.
Started reading the Dune series at the beginning of this broadcast, you'd be on the Battle of Corin by now. 12th book in the series. It's long. Oscars are long.
And then there's the weird, awkward, planned or unplanned dialogue between the award presenters.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Joe. So I was looking around backstage for my shoes, and I couldn't find them. And then I was like, there they are, the poor things. That's the name of the movie. I was worried I was going to have to put on my old shoes, or as I like to call them, my holdovers. I love old shoes. They're really in my zone of interest. And the Oscar for Best Performance While Wearing a Hat goes to... I don't have the envelope. I don't either. And then, of course, the big things that go wrong that we all know about.
Oh, wow!
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
You're impossible. Come on. La La Land.
There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. This is not a joke.
Actually entertaining, but probably not good for the long-term reputation of the Oscars. 4. The whole voting system is a show.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order!
Again, other people doing this well. There's a whole Adam Ruins Everything segment all about this.
Yes, we'd all love to believe that these awards are determined by objective voters weighing the artistic merits of each work. But the fact is, these might as well be the nominees.
It's no secret, awards are heavily campaigned for. Millions of dollars are spent. It's often not the best thing wins, but the best campaign wins. That's not democracy. Wait, yeah, that is democracy. This clip of Denzel accepting the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award says it all.
They're going to watch the movie, we're going to feed them, you're going to take pictures with everybody, you're going to hold the magazines, take the pictures, and you're going to win the award. I won that year.
Now, I don't think only a successful campaign decides who wins. The thing generally has to be kind of good. Also, voting members are all in the industry and they have friends in the industry that they want to see win. Cronyism! And also relatives. Nepotism! They probably haven't watched everything they voted for. Haven't watched-ism! And due to ranked choice voting... Okay, first let me explain ranked choice voting for people who don't know. I know you know, Paul. Mary, listen. My mom's name is Mary. Nepotism! So ranked choice voting is something that I really like and think we should probably do just for our regular government, but it is how they choose the Oscar winners. Every member ranks their choices. Say for Best Picture, they will go 1 through 10. And then when it's all tallied up, if one movie gets more than 50% of the number 1 slot, they win. But if no movie gets 50%, then you tally up the number 10 slot. Figure out which movie did the worst. And then you eliminate it from everyone's ranking. And then you do the whole process again, minus the one that got the most 10 votes because they're a loser. And anyone who had that number 10 is their number 1. Now their number 2 is their number 1. Sometimes I tally up my number 2 to make sure my digestion is okay. If after that tally still no movie is over 50%, then you do the process again. My stomach growled. Ooh. Speaking of number 2. So this process can lead to more middle-of-the-road movies that no one's passionate about. Green Book. Not the weird outliers that many people find awesome, but many others just might not like. Black Klansman. The Favorite. I don't necessarily think this voting process is bad for the Oscars because it might better reflect a wider array of people's opinions, but it does lead to boring or weird results. Why the Oscars fail to pick the cool, edgy video that all the cinephiles want. But again, you can't please everybody. Editor's note, when I first started making videos in 2007, I referred to videos as movies, and now I just referred to movies as videos. Full circle! Okay, so those are some of the reasons that the Oscars are a pile of garbage. I may have left out some, I'm just one garbage collector. But despite all of this, like Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi,
I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully.
There's still good in the Oscars. The Emperor hasn't driven it from them fully. That last part doesn't work. Why do people like the Oscars? First, career reasons. Of course, being recognized by your peers can be a great thing. Someone responded to my post in the Beard Lovers subreddit with this. I've worked on a few Oscar-nominated and winning movies, and those are the only times I've watched the ceremonies. I have fond memories of sitting in a Wellington bar at 10 a.m. yelling our heads off when we won and booing when we didn't. And actually holding the Oscar statue when it got back to work was cool. So I guess from that point of view, it was gratifying that the industry recognized our hard work. I assume this was Leonardo DiCaprio. If you're working hard at something, and other people who work hard at that same thing recognize that what you're doing is good, it feels good, no matter how out of order the whole system is. 2, a chance to showcase the lesser knowns. Without the Oscars, I doubt that many people would have even heard of Moonlight, or Triangle of Sadness, or Parasite, or Drive My Car, or Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everything Everywhere had a big ad campaign, but I bet more people saw it because of the Oscars. Because believe it or not, cinephiles, not everybody out there sits down and researches what movies are out there all the time, or even thinks about movies at all. I don't get it either. It's something I've had to deal with my whole life. Sitting down as a 5-year-old with all these other 5-year-olds screaming around me, and I'm like, shut up, I'm trying to watch The English Patient. And it's not just lesser known movies, lesser known actors, directors, editors, sound designers, animators, documentarians, composers, short films. How else can you celebrate these things at this scale? 3, sometimes the Oscars gets it right. Get it right? Sometimes the lesser knowns, the underdogs, or the thing you were just really rooting for wins! And it feels great. It feels good to watch a thing you want to win, even if the game is flawed. But yeah, it's like
Your opinion, man.
There are even great examples from this year's Oscars, like
Godzilla -1 for best visual effects. Oh, that's the only one I can think of. That the rest of them are kind of expected.
And sometimes the musical performances rule. 4, the whole glamour thing. If you've seen the video in which China picks out my new wardrobe for me, you know that this is not my area of expertise. I mean, what I'm wearing now is an exception, but I got lucky today. Normally I'm not this good. Point is, I know a lot of people like to see what people are wearing at these things, and that's 5. Hate watching! All those bad things I listed, those can be fun to watch for an avid hater. And finally, because this script is really long and I don't really want to think about the Oscars anymore, 6, it's fun to try to predict stuff. Remember at the beginning when I made these predictions? Well, let's reveal how I did. But after we talk about the sponsor of this video, Trade. Guys, I had to come over here and put my glasses on and soak my blue shirt in coffee and turn it black in honor of Trade, because Trade brings me life. I mean coffee. I mean, what's the difference? They deliver the best coffee from across the country right to your doorstep. Well, what if I want the worst coffee from nowhere that I gotta go to the store to get? Well, then don't sign up for Trade. It is the best. More than 55 roasters nationwide, delivered in the Red Trade bag. Red Trade bag, you take their little survey online and they match your preferences to over 100 different coffee profiles, helping you find the best coffee using art and science, marrying industry expertise and machine learning. Industry expertise and machine learning are in love. Personally, I like a light roast, I like my coffee black, and I do pour over. But now I might prefer on my shirt. This coffee's delicious. Visit drinktrade.com/Wheezy and save $15 on select plans and get your first bag free. It's amazing. You get the best thing, really delicious coffee, and you don't even have to go anywhere. Don't do your hair. Don't change out of your pajamas. Just stay home and drink your coffee. Thank you, Trade. I'm gonna wash my shirt.
I did terrible. I got 9 out of 23. These are the ones I got right. If I would have guessed Oppenheimer right and got it right, everyone would have been like, meh. If I guessed Killers of the Flower Moon and got it right, everyone would be like, you're a genius. I had to not lose my chance at being thought of as a genius. It was worth it to take the risk to be thought of as a dingus, which is what you think now. All in all, I thought the ceremony was pretty good. For the most part, Jimmy Kimmel did a fine job. Some dad jokes, but some of us are guilty of that too. Kate McKinnon, America Ferrera, Steven Spielberg bit was great. Schwarzenegger, DeVito, and Michael Keaton, great. Who doesn't like a naked John Cena? I seen and I like you know what I mean? Dad joke right there. First time I've watched it from start to finish, and it actually didn't even seem that long. I give it a 8 out of 10. Wow, I can't believe how many I got right and or wrong. In conclusion, I still like the Oscars because I don't see it as a monolith that's telling us what the best things are, but more what they want to honor this time. And it's fun to have an event where millions of people are kind of enjoying the moment together or hating the moment together. And it's an occasion where people are talking about one of the things I love most, movies. They get it wrong, but that's also fun to talk about. And I at least like talking about stuff they got wrong rather than talking about nothing at all, because that would mean I'm dead. Because I don't think the Oscars are going away. Maybe they'll become less and less relevant, but the industry is still gonna want awards that they give themselves. I suppose unless Hollywood movies go away entirely. Okay, there'll still be movies, I'll just have to make them. And they're all gonna be about how coffee makes you poop. Thank you for watching. I'd like to thank the Academy for nothing at all. YouTube thinks you'll like that video, my previous video, which was about doing 5K every day in the freezing cold weather. And you can support me on Patreon, where I do monthly live streams and monthly minute-long banjo faces. This is a banjo face. I don't know what you thought it was. I should end with something Oscar-ly. There's no business like Splo-blizness.